Pollock joining us this morning from Columbus, site of College Game Day this weekend. Look, the Buckeyes get their guy back, Chase Young, just in time to face Penn State. He's had the 2-game suspension due to the NCAA violations. But what does his return mean for Ohio State, particularly before this one?
I mean, Nicole, what can we say? It's unfortunate timing for Penn State, to say the least. You get back, the most disruptive force in college football. So there's nothing Penn State's going to be able to do. They're going to have to make sure they know where he's at every snap. They're going to run zone read stuff at him and not block him. But he's just an animal. He's an absolute freak show that can ruin the game plan. And Ohio State deploys him so beautifully, too, because they'll put him at end. They'll put him at D tackle. They'll stand him up at linebacker and move him all over the place. Really, really unfortunate time. The best way Penn State was going to stop Chase Young was the NCAA. That was about the only shot they had, and that's not going to happen. So bad timing for Penn State.
Can I just love the way that you describe people? He's an animal. He's a dude. He's an absolute freak show. It's like saying somebody has good stuff when he's on the mound. Those are compliments. By the way, with a win for Ohio State, their chances to make the college football playoff are a virtual lock. It's 94% chance. There is another big game in the Pac-12, and on paper, at least when you're looking at the numbers, it may not seem that way because it's number 6 Oregon against Arizona State. But here's the thing about the Fightin' Herms. They've pulled off a couple of big wins this season, so how can Oregon avoid being another?
Well, I think when you watch Arizona State, there's not a lot to be desired about their defense. They've really struggled the last several games and slow, but their offense can score. And Jaden Daniels missed one game, I think, and was a little bit banged up, but he's back. And Benjamin running the football is really good. And then you got Ayuk at running back, who is very, very good. So they have a balanced offense with quarterback, wide receiver, running back that can make you pay, that can make big plays. So I mean, I think if Oregon has to focus on one thing, it's making sure they're ready for that Arizona State offense that has playmakers.
The defense, though, is perhaps why Oregon is a 2-touchdown favorite. We get more of our favorite dude tomorrow morning on SportsCenter and Game Day. It all starts 7 o'clock Eastern right here on ESPN. You can see the Oregon-Arizona State game. Thank you. Saturday night on ABC. The Ducks have won 9 in a row. They've beaten Arizona State in 11 of the past 12 meetings as well. You can see the game 7:30 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app.
The NFL adjusted Thursday, one of the suspensions stemming from the Steelers-Browns brawl that started Week 11. It was not Myles Garrett's. That, despite reporting from both Adam Schefter and Josina Anderson, saying the Browns' defensive end says Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph used a racial slur before the brawl began. An NFL spokesman said the league looked into Garrett's allegations and, quote-unquote, found no such evidence. An accusation a Steelers spokesman says Rudolph vehemently denies. In a brawl for which Garrett remains indefinitely suspended, no fewer than 6 games. More on the punishments in a moment, but first, Garrett standing by the allegation in a tweeted statement later Thursday, saying in part, "I know what I heard. Whether my opponent's comment was born out of frustration or ignorance, I cannot say, but his actions do not excuse my lack of restraint in the moment." Adam Schefter now on what's next for the Browns defensive end.
At some point during the offseason, the NFL will sit down with Myles Garrett, discuss what took place last Thursday night, and make a determination about whether it should remove that indefinite title to the indefinite suspension. For the time being, Garrett's 2019 season is done, and he can begin planning and looking ahead for 2020 whenever that begins.
Here's an update now on the suspensions. Myles Garrett, he gets a minimum of 6 games, which will be the longest in NFL history for an on-field incident. Pittsburgh center Marquise Pouncey, now